I am writing a novel. If you did not know that, you are obviously not from around here. As of right now, I am on draft 2 of what I'm hoping to be my debut novel. So I just made a short, kind of explaining what my story is about, or like a little quick summary for you. But I thought I would make a bit more of an in-depth video of it. First off, I want to start this by saying this week, if you are returning to my channel, you would have known that this week was supposed to be a Throne of Glass read with me. Yeah, I haven't finished that yet, and I'm traveling next week. Hence the pile of clothes I'm pretty sure you can see on my bed. I just won't stress about it, and I'll just do this week instead. This was originally supposed to be next week's video. Either way, my story. So, basically what you guys all know so far is that it is a adult romantasy book. It is a like cozy fantasy with a subplot of romance, which is a slow burn kind of strangers to friends to lovers sort of ish. If you can't tell, the reason I've like avoided making a video like this is because I am so bad at explaining my book and not just spoiling everything. This was also in the short earlier today, but what my actual story is about, the two main characters is a 20-something-year-old girl named Victoria and a 20-something-year-old boy named Elijah. Victoria is from Earth, Elijah is not. Elijah ends up on Earth and kind of sort of kidnaps Victoria and brings her to his world. Victoria is a reader. She's got her head in the clouds. She's that kind of girl. And so when she ends up on this world that is magic and fantasy and everything she'd ever dreamt of, she's not in a big rush to get back home. So she follows Elijah back to his magic guild, which he has grown up with his entire life. That's his home, that's his family, that's also his job. So she follows him back there, and they go on these adventures, and we follow along with them when they're finding friends and allies and enemies, everyone, every part of the sort. So far, that is what you already know. I'm here to tell you things you don't know yet, otherwise what's the point of this video? This story was originally created when I was somewhere between 12 and 15. I was really into anime, like I still am, but the one anime that really got me into it was one called Fairy Tail, and I think that's where this kind of story, like the Magic Guild and the Found Family, like really formed from. So if you've ever seen that anime, I recommend. I think this book will probably be up your alley, but it has evolved so much since I originally started writing it. I mean, I was 12 to 15 and I'm 20 currently, so it's grown. I started writing this for the first draft when I was 16, but I never ended up finishing it, and when I turned 19, I really just wanted to be like, I wanted to finish my first book when I was 19, which I did. It's not this book, but it was another book. But once I finished that book, which is very heavy in the emotion section, I wanted something a bit lighter, and I found the old like plot points for this story, and I was like, I kind of missed that. I want to go back there. So I replotted the book and I started writing it right away. And I think I started in August of this year, and I finished it, well, I started it August 2024, I finished it January 2025. And that's so far the timeline of the book. But that's not really the interesting stuff, is it? I'm just gonna go out and say a few things that if you don't read this, you're probably not gonna know for a really long time. There's a few things that have different names in this story of mine. First off, I have only been calling it Project New World. I haven't actually said the name yet, but I have made the name. I knew the name from the moment I started writing it when I was 16 years old, so it's been around for a while. I just haven't been calling it that. The book name would be the same name as this new world, the planet that Victoria and Elijah are on, which its name is Sidereal. That is an actual word, and if I'm not mistaken, it means in or among the stars. It's kind of like a synonym for celestial, and so that's why I wanted to choose it. Something I like doing is going through the thesaurus and finding out a bunch of different words that generally mean the same thing, which is also how I found out the word for this next bit, which is astral, which again is an actual word. I think most of you will probably have heard of astral projection or the astral dimension, which are things that are known to us. Typically seen in horror movies, actually. There was a mention in Doctor Strange, too, if you're into Marvel. Astral, in my story, is what they call magic. Yes, the reason why I chose the word astral is because its definition is of, connected with, or resembling the stars. The second one, which is what most people know it as, is relating to a supposed non-physical realm of existence to which various psychic and paranormal phenomena are ascribed, and in which the physical human body is said to have a counterpart. Now, my story kind of comes, like, I originally picked it for the first definition, but once I figured out what it was, it's kind of switched up. So, astral is the magic. The way the magic works is that they are able to have, like, they have a slight connection to the astral realm, and they are able to take energy from it and turn it into whatever type of magic they use. Elijah, he is a horrible example. I'm not going to use him. Oh gosh, I have horrible examples for my main characters. The most basic is elemental type mages, and you can only have one type of astral just because that's the way your body gets used to it. It can't handle two different forms of magic, so you can get energy from the astral realm and convert it into, say, water. And then you can control, you can create, you can do all that stuff with water, or fire, or earth, or wind. I forgot what the fourth element was for a second there. That's basically how my magic system works, is that it comes from the astral realm, so they named it astral in, like, thanks. I don't know in hindsight why I really chose to do that and why I didn't just want to call it magic. I don't know, I feel like the word magic is just so overused. I wanted to call it something different, but just to say powers, I don't know, seemed underwhelming. I wanted it to have a full name. So it's not like you just go in and you have to expect it. Like, my main character, she's from Earth, so basically she knows exactly what you know about it. Absolutely nothing. It's a learning process for her as well, and it is in first person, so you get her thoughts. So it is explained properly through her head and rationalized that way. Okay. Oh, there's so much. Okay, this is getting exciting to be able to actually talk about it. So far, I haven't talked about anything. I could talk about whatever I wanted. Okay, so this story started off as one that I wanted to turn into a series, but, like, say, even when I was writing when I was 16, I was like, it ended with the possibility of turning into a series, but I had no idea what I wanted the rest of the series to look like how many books, like, plot points. I knew one singular thing, which that thing has stayed intact. It was a good thing, so I'm not going to tell you that because that would absolutely be spoilers. It started as a 5-book series, but I don't think it's going to go that far. Like I said, I hadn't had any idea for what the other books, like, plot points were going to be. I have only, I haven't in-depth created them. Like, I will do that once I finish draft 2. At least for book 2, I'll do that. But, like, I kind of know, like, I want the beginning and I want the end. That's what I know. It's the middle part I have to figure out. And I had ideas for what could happen in all 5 books, but I'm like, can I get enough middle sustenance to really create that a novel, or would it just be worth it to shrink it down into a 3-book series instead? So far, it's a 3-book series is what I'm hoping for. Like, if this book comes out and you read it, you're not going to be devastated by how it ends and immediately need the second one. I plan to traditionally publish. Originally, I wasn't going to. Originally, I wanted to self-publish, but I don't have the marketing skills for that. So I am going to try and go for a literary agent, mostly so I don't have to do the marketing, because I went to school for writing and publishing. So technically, it's in my brain somewhere, the editing, proofreading, typography, even book cover designs, although I'd be horrible with that and would rather just pay someone. I learned it all. I could do it. And it scares me a bit not to have complete creative control of how things go, but at the same time, I think it'll turn out better if I do go through traditional publishing. I have this little mark right here. It's very rough because this is the one I drew. I have a better one tattooed onto me. I could just show you that one. That in this story is the guild mark that they have. That is, again, something you'll understand better if you have seen or know of the anime Fairy Tail, because that was an idea that, again, formed from that, where all the guilds have, like, these tattoos of, you know, it can really be anything, and that's what gets them privileges. Like, specifically in my story, anyone who is a part of a guild gets, like, free transportation. Like, there's the train that runs across everything, and they just have to mark the outside of their box with their guild mark, and nobody comes in to check for tickets. And, like, you show it to the ticket master at the front door, at the gate, and they let you in for free, basically. You can skip the line and all that. I think that's how I'm gonna end it. I, of course, will talk more about this story. Check in on the shorts, because I have been posting, obviously, questions for this book. Like, if you haven't seen the shorts at all, I ask, like, opinions. I'm like, what would you think, like, this would happen in this situation? Or the first one was one of my characters, he uses, like, flames from, like, a realm that kind of rivals or is based off of hell. Am I allowed to say that? Either way. And so I was like, I asked people what color they thought the flames would be, and I explained my reasoning and opinions on that. That's one of my first shorts out there. But there'll be a lot more like that for just advice on my writing, but I'm also posting, like, little skits. Like, one has been an actual scene from the book, but I plan to do a lot more that's just, like, kind of shows off their dynamic as well as their personalities. It's really embarrassing for me, though, because I don't act, and I kind of have to. But yeah, this is all also, like, all my shorts on here will also be on TikTok, so whatever platform you prefer to watch that kind of content on, I am on either of them. I do also have Instagram if you just want, like, personal updates. I do some writing updates, but I don't do, like, shorts, or I don't do reels there as much because my entire family follows that account and I get a little embarrassed. So, yeah. Either way, I'm gonna end it at that. I think that is good. I didn't even say hi. This is at the end, but hi, my name is Aster. I already did the rest of it. Okay. I will see you guys next week. It will actually, this time, be a read with me for Throne of Glass. There are never any spoilers. There's just opinions and reactions and that kind of stuff from my point of view. P.S. I'm loving the book right now, so I definitely think you should come back and watch it next week. bring your own book. It's a read with me, so it's meant to be reading with you. Okay, bye-bye.